All right, so we are awaiting President Trump's campaign rally tonight in the Lone Star State. Let's bring in a Texas native, Republican Congressman Pat Fallon, to talk about what to expect tonight. Congressman, welcome to our special coverage. First, I want to start off with, what do you think is the most urgent issue that Trump needs to address?
Well, Lydia and Rob, thanks for having me on. I think it would have to be the border, border security and fiscal restraint. Those are two things that President Trump needs to focus on, I think, to win in 2024, because Joe Biden is just absolutely, his policies have emboldened the drug cartels. We've got record migrant crossings, all illegal crossings. We had never had a month of over 200,000 illegal border crossings in our history, and we had 10 months in a row under Joe Biden. And now he's paroling up to 100,000 people to try to artificially get the number down when he reports. So that, and of course, we've seen the fiscal, they're spending like drunken sailors, and that's quite frankly an insult to drunken sailors, which has led to some 40-year record inflation.
Yeah, I saw on Christina's list, no alcohol as well. So no drunken sailors at the rally in Texas tonight, Congressman. The border going to be a major topic in this election. How big a role do you think it actually plays heading into 2024?
I think it plays a huge role, Rob, to be honest, because what Joe Biden's policies have done is made every state a border state. Every state is seeing this. And then you saw the reactions when Governor Abbott and Governor DeSantis sent illegal migrants north to liberal cities, to sanctuary states. They lost their ever living minds. I mean, in Martha's Vineyard, they called out the National Guard because 50 Venezuelans showed up. And so when you put it in their backyard, they understand the problem. And can you imagine millions of people crossing into your state like we have in Texas? We don't have the capacity and the infrastructure to support that. So I think it'll play a big role in the coming month.
And Congressman, just yesterday in Texas, 2 undocumented migrants suffocated to death aboard a freight train. 15 other migrants needed medical care. Investigators are looking into this as a human smuggling incident. Tonight's rally, that it's in Texas. I'm sure President Trump will make the border obviously a main focal point. There was also another story. I don't know if you saw this, Rob and the Congressman. A 1-year-old little boy was just dropped over the border by one of the traffickers.
And abandoned?
And just left there in the middle of nowhere. Thank God a border agent came by, swept him up, and put him in his arms. Sadly, this is not a rarity. We are now facing not only a national security crisis, but this is also a humanitarian crisis. And President Biden, and you have Mayorkas basically saying, don't worry, the border is secure. You have nothing to worry about.
Well, I filed articles of impeachment on Alejandro Mayorkas as soon as this new Congress began, because he's, shown nothing but a gross dereliction of duty, and he's just ignoring the law. But consider this. There were 80,000 Americans that died of fentanyl overdoses last year. Do you see the mainstream media and the left covering that at all? For them, if you lose your life, you have to do it in such a way like it's cause they support, like gun control. So mass shootings, it's a tragedy, and we never want to see those, of course. But that's what the left focuses on. They don't ever see or focus on a family that, say, lost a loved one to fentanyl, or lost a loved one to, let's say, being murdered by an illegal immigrant. So how about we be consistent? How about we show humanity for all?
Yeah, it's a good point. And if that same thing happened while Donald Trump was president, this would be above the fold. Biggest story in America. There's just a massive double standard.
Yeah, Trump kills migrants.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'd have AOC crying.
Yeah, at the border.
Right.
Congressman, before we let you go, Newsmax wants to thank you for all your support while we were off the air with DirecTV. As you know, we're back on DirecTV now. You played a huge role in making that happen. Our viewers can go to newsmax.com to read more about how this all played out. But last word to you, Congressman.
Listen, I'm so glad that DirecTV and Newsmax were able to come to an accord, because with Newsmax on and available as many homes in America as possible, then it's up to each American to choose. And you all show the news and the truth that the mainstream media will ignore. And we need to be fully informed as Americans if we're going to, preserve our representative republic. So thank you for what you, Lydia, Rob, thank you for what you do. You're great Americans. And God bless you.
We appreciate that, Congressman. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.